Rings of Power Season 1 is over, and of course the showrunners, writers, and actors have all come out trying to hype people up for another season. It's already greenlit, they're filming it, but they need viewers to return, so every article that's come out has been filled with them praising fans and talking about the future, and now they're basically begging us to show up to support another season, making some pretty wild promises. I have a bunch of things to show off, but before we get into the topic at hand, if you enjoy the content that I create, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Follow me on social media like Twitter or mine so that you can see when my content is posted. And of course, if you do really enjoy the videos and the live streams that I create, please consider becoming a Dark Titan via Patreon for just $1 a month, or support the channel via YouTube memberships. All of the links are in the description, and of course, I do really appreciate all of the support. So I saw this tweet, which of course makes some wild claims. It says, Rings of Power Season 2 will tell a more canonical story according to the LOTR showrunners. There may be viewers who are like, this is the story we were hoping to get in Season 1. In Season 2, we're giving it to them. Now this makes me angry for so many reasons. But first I wanted to reference the full article, get their whole quote. But it starts off with saying Season 1 opens with, who is Galadriel? Where is she from? What did she suffer? Why is she driven? We're doing the same thing with Sauron in Season 2. We'll fill in all of the missing pieces. Patrick McKay said Sauron can now just be Sauron. Like Tony Soprano or Walter White, he's evil but complexly evil. We felt like if we did that in Season 1, he'd overshadow everything else. So the first season is like Batman Begins and The Dark Knight is the next movie, with him maneuvering out in the open. We're really excited. Season 2 has a canonical story. There may well be viewers who are like, this is the story we were hoping for in Season 1. In Season 2, we're giving it to them. Now, why didn't you just do this in Season 1? They could have dedicated maybe one episode to Galadriel's backstory. I mean, they're hour-long episodes each. You could probably fit in all of the boring content that was drawn out through these 8 episodes. But for them to basically go, yeah, we understand Season 1 wasn't really what people were expecting and wanting, but Season 2 will be, is so infuriating. Because, yes, they did have a lot of money that they put into this series, and some of the CGI was great, some of the music was great. But unfortunately, the problem was the writing, and they're basically begging people to come back for a Season 2. I am a Tolkien lover. I am a Tolkien fan. I am not a fan of what these writers did with Season 1 of this show. Now, why would I come back for a Season 2? These people baited us into watching Season 1, saying, yes, we're so excited to be able to tell you Tolkien's work. We're so excited to be able to bring these characters to the small screen, all of this, and we ended up getting a pile of shit. This story was mostly new, and that is the giant problem. You have a ton of new characters, you have a lot of new story elements, a lot of massive retcons like the Mithril. Okay, why would I believe that in Season 2 you're magically just going to follow the canon? You didn't at all in Season 1. This, to me, confirms what we've all thought, that Amazon is probably freaking out behind the scenes, because we know that the ratings have been awful for this show. The user scores on things like Rotten Tomatoes are sitting at 38%. People on social media are talking about the Rings of Power, and a lot of the discussion surrounding the show is very negative. This, to me, says they didn't bring in the Tolkien audience that they expected, and now they're trying to fix it. They're basically saying, give us one more chance in Season 2, we're gonna do so much better, we're gonna give you the story that you want. Yeah, because you know that you pissed people off with Season 1, and everyone on this tweet thread is mocking these showrunners. Hey everybody, we really messed this whole thing up, and boy is Amazon really mad. Kind of hard to do when you've got Galadriel and Sauron with a love story, also Galadriel being the one suggesting the creation of the three, and Celebrimbor is a Joe Biden old man, and Gandalf exists in the Second Age. This is the issue, is that they can't start following canon unless they completely act like season 1 didn't happen, which of course isn't their plan. We can already see that. They wouldn't just create a season of a show and then go, you know what, we're going to scrap that. They have shoved so much money into this, yet they went in the completely wrong direction, and they can't just start following canon at this point. As this tweet points out, they have changed way too many things already. Two things, they've screwed up the timeline so much that they can't do a canonical story anymore, and an adaptation is by nature non-canonical. Jackson's films, for example, aren't completely accurate to Tolkien's works. They're adaptations of those stories, and there's been a lot of talk about the Jackson films, and while yes, they were not 100% accurate to the source material, they were like 90% accurate to the source material, and the rest of the changes did feel like they were Tolkien's work, and that is why we love and respect those movies so much, and Amazon completely missed that with this TV series. My question is how? Like, the very forging of the Rings of Power was depicted so badly, it completely destroyed the lore. It can't be one ring to rule them all if Sauron didn't have a hand in making the others, so short of retconning your own show, what's done is done. I have absolutely no clue how they're going to suddenly follow the canon and they're going to make everything better, but nobody was really impressed by this series. As you can see, Rotten Tomatoes, it's sitting at a 38% audience score with over 33,000 user ratings. No one is really showing up to praise this show at this point. My video from yesterday when I'm recording this video was kind of my in-depth thoughts on season 1 and my thoughts on the finale. I just don't think that this show has potential at this point. I think that they're going to put a lot more money into a season 2. They're going to create it thinking maybe people will come back, and I think the numbers are going to be bad. I think that a lot of people are not going to give another season a chance. And I don't think that this show is going to go the full 5 seasons. I've said this from the very start. They said their intentions were initially 5 seasons. Only season 2 is greenlit right now. I think that they will go 3. I think that they will end it at 3 seasons. They won't go the full 5. And I think that they're going to cut their losses at that point. Ultimately, I think that Amazon really screwed themselves over by choosing mediocre writers, a lot of mediocre actors. They just picked the worst people for the job, and it really, really shows. And now they're basically starting to beg people for another chance. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.